Yeah, for decades, the rules for managing people, talent, culture, performance, they were pretty set in stone. Well, AI is basically tearing up that playbook and throwing it out the window. We are right in the middle of a massive reset. And understanding what that means, well, it's absolutely critical for every leader and really for every employee.
And look, this is way more than just some new software or a little bit of automation. We're talking about a fundamental, ground-up shift in how we lead, how we work, and even how we think about building our careers. So what is this new playbook? What does it actually look like?
Okay, so before we can really dive into this whole reset, we need to get on the same page about what people strategy even means. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but believe me, in the age of AI, its definition is more important than ever.
Right. So people strategy. It's not just some HR buzzword. It's really a whole business philosophy. It's about seeing your people not as resources you have to manage, but as the core engine that's actually driving your business forward. It's strategic, it's holistic, and it's all about being proactive. Think of it like this, right? Your traditional HR stuff, it's often reactive. It's about compliance, processes, putting out fires. A true people strategy is proactive. It's all about looking around the corner, aligning your talent with the big business goals, and building the team you're going to need for the future. All right, so the big question is why? Why is AI forcing this massive reset? I mean, we've been through huge technological shifts before. What makes this time so different?
And that's a totally fair question, isn't it? We adapted to the internet, we adapted to mobile, so is AI just the next thing on the list? But the answer is a huge no. And the reason why? Well, it's actually fascinating.
Just think back. When the internet came along, we kind of knew where we were headed, right? We were building digital storefronts, connecting information, talking to people across the globe. The destination was pretty well defined. With AI, we are engaging with an intelligence where the end state is a complete unknown.
Okay, here's an awesome analogy to make this super clear. Past tech shifts were like building one of those prefabricated homes. You had the blueprint, you knew exactly what the finished house was supposed to look like, and you just had to assemble the pieces. It was a clear step-by-step process.
But with AI, there's no blueprint. We're not building a prefab house. We're more like explorers heading into completely uncharted territory. We are evolving with the technology, and we're discovering the destination as we go. And that right there changes everything about how we plan, lead, and work. Okay, so if we're all agreed we're in this wild, new, undefined world, what does that actually mean for the old ways of doing things? Let's literally put the old playbook right next to the new one and see how radical this shift in thinking really is.
First up, leadership. You know that old ivory tower model? The boss who has all the answers? Yeah, that's pretty much becoming obsolete. The new playbook demands leaders who are actually comfortable saying, I don't know, but let's figure it out together. They need to be guides through all this ambiguity, showing a little vulnerability and encouraging curiosity.
And guess what? Strategy is going through the exact same thing. Those 5-year plans carved in stone, they're a thing of the past. Planning can't just be something you do once in a while anymore. Strategy has to be in constant motion. You plan, you execute, you learn, and then you have to be ready to rethink the whole thing in a matter of months, not years.
And this, of course, completely rewrites what we think of as a career path. That old hierarchical ladder, just climbing one rung after another, it's fading away. Today, growth is much more like a jungle gym. You move sideways, you jump on different projects, you collect a whole bunch of diverse skills. It's all about what you contribute and what you learn, not just what your title is.
Okay, so if that's the new reality we're all living in, how on earth do you prepare for it? What are the essential building blocks, the skills and mindsets that everyone needs to start working on, like right now?
Let's talk about HR and people ops, folks. Your role is totally transforming. It's not enough to be a process expert anymore. You've got to have tech fluency to speak the language of the business, data literacy to pull real insights out of all that workforce data, and, this is a big one, the courage to act as an ethical guide rail, making sure AI is used fairly and transparently.
And for leaders, the big shift is moving from being an authority figure to being an influencer. You need what's called an exploration mindset. I heard one leader even joked about getting her team Dora the Explorer hats, which is kind of perfect, right? This means having intellectual humility, amazing coaching skills, and mastering those power skills: empathy, communication, resilience. These aren't soft skills anymore. They are absolutely critical.
And this isn't just for leaders or HR. For every single employee, the new currency is adaptability. It's about being okay with not having the final answer.
It's about working together, really collaborating across teams, and breaking down those old silos. And it's about having this constant curiosity, always ready to learn, and just as important, to unlearn the old ways of doing things. I know, this can feel like a lot. So let's bring it all back down to earth. What are the first, most practical things you can actually do to start making this shift today? All right, here are 3 things you can start doing, like right now. Number 1, double down on those human power skills. Number 2, for every dollar you invest in shiny new tech, invest in developing your people. And number 3, build a culture of real trust by giving honest, immediate, and specific feedback. These 3 things are the foundation for everything else.
When you boil it all down, it really comes down to this one simple idea. See, this isn't a scary story about robots taking our jobs. It's a story about redesigning work so that people and technology can bring out the best in each other. The Great Reset is about letting tech do what tech does best so that we can focus on what makes us uniquely human: our creativity, our empathy, our strategic thinking. That is the new playbook.